have the honor of introducing this morning's keynote speaker, Ava Jones. In 2022, Ava and her family were hit by a vehicle while waiting on a crosswalk, just 2 days after Ava committed to the Iowa women's basketball team. As a result, she now has a traumatic brain injury and has endured multiple surgeries, causing her to medically retire from the basketball program. She continues her studies at the University of Iowa, and just a few weeks ago was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. Ava insisted on still joining us here today, despite this new battle she's facing, even on her birthday. And I know you all
Sorry about that excitement.
I know you all will be amazed by her strength and courage, so please help me in giving a warm welcome to Ava Jones.
All right, good morning. My name is Ava Jones, and thank you for being here and listening to all of us talk and learning about brain injury. I named my presentation this because one of my favorite things is when it rains, because then after the rain, the grass always grows greener and the trees always grow greener. And I haven't been in a lot of rain recently, but I'm continuing to grow every day. So that's the beauty of the rain. No relevant financial disclosures, just letting everybody know. I get paid for this. I want to take you back to my childhood first and show you my life and how I got here. Here are some pictures of me as a baby and a toddler. I've always had really blonde hair, except for now, because I dyed it pink, which now I regret. But like everything in life, it's only temporary, so don't worry, Mom, it's only temporary. But as you can see here, I have two brothers. I have a younger one named Creek, who is 13, and an older one named Hunter, who is 23. And then my mom, Amy, is right here too. And yeah, so I've always been a very competitive person. Here are more pictures of me at a young age. That is my father, Trey. You'll learn more about him later. Like I said, I'm a middle child. I have two brothers, one older, one younger. My older brother is 4 years older than me, and I've always wanted to keep up with him. At the age of 4, I was already riding a 2-wheel bike, which is pretty impressive, honestly, if I think about it now, if I look back, just to keep up with Hunter. And I've always been very competitive, and that's got me here. So, volleyball. I played volleyball. It was my mom's favorite sport, and I played, but it was my least favorite, honestly. She was my first coach in every sport that I played, starting with, I'll tell you guys. So, since he went overtime, I could go overtime. There are little stories in here. So, I played indoor soccer, and I was the goalie at the time. But I was the goalie, and I went down and took the ball and scored because nobody was that athletic. And my mom was my coach, so what, was she just gonna pull me out? I was the one that was scoring all the points. So, like in here, I was number 10. I was the middle front and middle back. And then so I had a really good setter, so I can't take all the credit, but I scored the points now. So track. Track is a big part of who I am. My dad was my track coach. My older brother competed in Olympic trials last year and is a national champion in the decathlon and high jump 72 3/4 in the decathlon. That is the highest D1, D2, D3 in AIA. And he's He's pretty good, but I feel like I was better. I was D1, he was D2, I felt like I was better. And there's a picture of my grandma, who is right here up front, and then my dad's mom, my other grandma, and I had 3 state medals, because that year was my junior year. I only competed twice in state track, because first year was COVID, last year I got hit by a car, couldn't compete. And that year, although I wanted to really bad, still couldn't. So in the middle picture, that was my sophomore year, my brothers and I got first in the high jump my first year ever competing at state with a high jump of 5'4", not that great, but still won. And then pole vault, I got 7th my sophomore year. And then my junior year, I got 2nd in pole vault, 2nd in high jump, 3rd in pole vault, and 7th in javelin. Now enough about, well, we got more. So, all right, like every athlete loves to show their highlights. So here's some more of my highlights. My dad's my track coach, he loves slow-mo, but this is my favorite video, one of my favorite videos. I think that qualified me for state. I could hear my grandma screaming in the background. So it's one of my favorite videos. At that meet, I actually landed on the bar and it slid over my back, and that was one of the worst experiences I've had in track. This is a good one. So my dad Trey, my mom Amy, me, my older brother Hunter, and then my uncle by marriage, Craig. Both graduated in Kansas and competed at Kansas State track. And my dad won twice. My mom also won twice. They were probably there at the same time, but they didn't know of each other. And then I won once. And then my brother won once, and my uncle by marriage won once. Don't know what height he won at, but he won. He has a state medal. So my dad went 5'11" and 3/4 as his PR.
6.
Oh, sorry, 6'11". Sorry. He's not here, so. My mom went 5'6", and I went 5'6". That was my PR, but that year I only went 5'4". Then my brother, his new PR, 7'2" and 3/4", and like I said, my uncle, don't know. Basketball, why I'm here. It's really good quality, and then it goes kind of down. Don't know why. Should have made that. Should have used my left hand in that one too. I would have got higher offers. There's a left hand. That's very versatile. Good passer. Good shoot outside, inside. 3-4. So basketball was my life. That was my AAU highlights, and that was when I played in the summer. And then here are a couple more. Like I said, athletes always love showing their highlights. So here are a couple more of my highlights of me dunking. This is my dad throwing me out there. Me getting really close. I was almost there. I don't know who was laughing at me then, but now I can't jump at all. So, here are some of the offers I received on my second try of committing or getting recruited. I first committed to Arizona State University, but the head coach retired, so I reopened my recruitment, and here are a few of the offers that I got. But I was really excited to go to Arizona State because I can tell you right now, it's not snowing there. So, yeah, I was very excited about that. More basketball, of course. Here is me on my visit to Iowa, the University of Iowa, and I was ranked number 83 in the class of 2023, 83rd in the class of 2023, which is the whole class of the nation, or all athletes in my class of 2023 in the nation. I was ranked number 83rd, and they kept me there. I'm probably still ranked there, even though I don't play basketball anymore, but they kept me there out of, they're nice. So now we're getting into a little bit of this is actually the best, probably one of the best days that I don't remember. But yes, July 3rd, 2022, I committed to the University of Iowa. Here's me committing. It's not a great quality, but the sound is all that is important, so I will not talk.
Yeah, well, I wanted to have everybody on to tell you that I'm committing to the University of Iowa.
And that's Coach Bluter and Coach Jay in the background, and Coach Abby.
Thanks. Yes. Yeah. Hey.
Coach Jay always has to get the last word in.
Yeah.
Right. So I was working towards being a college athlete my whole life. I was especially looking forward to playing basketball when I committed to the University of Iowa with the team. I was envisioning my life as a college athlete and then playing as long as I could in the WNBA. And that was my whole life, my dream. I could see the changes happening with women's basketball because the draft that I watched in 2020 with Sabrina Ionescu, nobody was watching. Nobody cared. It was on ESPN. You had to pay, had to do all these things. But then last year, everybody wanted to watch the draft. Everybody. Everybody watched Caitlin get drafted first round to the Indiana Fever. And I wanted to be a part of that. I was like, this is where the change is happening. I want to be a part of that. Well, then on July 4th, 2022, I was in Louisville with my dad, my brother, my younger brother. I was playing in a basketball tournament, Battle of the Roses, with my AAU team, Southwest Elite. We turned this tournament into a family vacation, and one of my last memories that I remember is we got bird scooters and went down to the river and watched the fireworks. And on that far picture, one to the right is my mom took that picture. She was there. She was in the picture. She was taking the picture. The hotel had an arcade room, which I remember, with old school games that my dad loved, and I spent so much time watching him play. But my mom doesn't really remember, but I do. That's the only really big thing. This day stands out to me because it was the only day of Louisville that I remember. Right before my whole life changed. Often traumatic brain injury survivors can remember specific details right before their injuries, and this is the day that I remember. Now on to the big guy. My father, who was my track coach, my woodshop teacher, and hunting and fishing buddy. He loved hunting and fishing. Probably more than me, honestly. He had the best smiles and gave the best hugs. And he and I were always around each other. One of the last memories I have of him is going bow fishing down at the river. Bow fishing is only carp, really allowed to only shoot carp, but he shot a beaver. But now, don't tell the law enforcement, I don't think they'll put him in prison right now. So, yes. He was the core of our family. And yeah, it was, he's a good guy. The next slide has pictures of me after the crash, and it may be a little shocking. If you guys want to close your eyes and not look, go ahead, feel free, I won't be offended. So this is me on July 5th. My family was stopped at a crosswalk when an impaired driver under the influence of fentanyl hit me and my family. The video is out there. It is edited. If it is something that you would want to watch, just look up my name, Ava Jones accident. It'll be out there. You can't see much, but everyone who witnessed the crash thought my mom didn't survive because of how severe her orthopedic injuries looked as she took the brunt of the impact. When the EMS arrived, my dad didn't look injured, but when he got to the hospital, they found he sustained a severe traumatic brain injury and unfortunately did not survive. My dad passed away on July 7th of 2022. With his passing, he donated 3 organs, saving 3 people's lives, both of his kidneys and his liver. I was put in a medically induced coma for 10 days, and my mom was in one for 13 days. So she gets the gold star. She won. Physical. So, yeah, I have a severe traumatic brain injury affecting my bilateral, temporal, and frontal lobes, there you go, Laura, and my left occipital lobe, as well as damage to the trochlear nerve, which affected my vision. So that is why I wear these glasses. I have 20/15 in both eyes, so really, really good. But I have double vision, so whenever I don't have these on, I see up and down. And these prisms are what helps my eyes see school and, life and people. After speaking with my former neurosurgeon in Louisville, 2 years later, I found out that my traumatic brain injury was classified as severe, which is why they didn't do surgery on me in Louisville. I tore my right ACL, PCL, MCL, and both menisci, and my left ACL, PCL, LCL, and meniscus. My shoulder AC joint separated grade 4, and they didn't know, they didn't know before because they couldn't see, but I broke my collarbone too. So they had to fix that too. And my grandma, Hanek, stayed with my mom and I all 44 days in Louisville, bringing me Chick-fil-A whenever I asked, which was like 30 out of the 44 days, so I'm still not tired of it. This is me for the first time standing up after my coma. So after this, after I stood up, my grandma and I always say I love you to infinity and beyond. And she said, I love you to infinity, and I mouthed, and beyond. And that's when they knew I was going to be okay. Physically, where I am today. I am now able to run after relearning how to walk and stand up on my own. I'm able to play sports such as pickleball and still get beat by my 74-year-old grandma, so that's pretty impressive. D1 athlete, what am I? I graduated physical therapy mostly, but now with the cancer, I go back once a week to make sure I'm doing everything all right. My heart rate is where it's supposed to be. And then I have OT every other week. But this is where I am today. That was actually, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. My form doesn't look the best, but it looked better than the last one. Okay. And then this video is also where I am today. I'm running with my girlfriend Allison, who was a 200 runner in high school, so whenever I lost really bad, that's okay, because I'm not as fast as her, pre-injuries. So here is what I'm dealing with now. With all the progress I've made since my traumatic brain injury, I've been unknowingly battled cancer, stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma as well. I've had cancer for the last 2 years, but no one knew because all of my symptoms were blamed on my traumatic brain injury because they're symptoms of TBIs like itchiness, night sweats, tiredness, trouble swallowing, because I pulled out, when I was in a coma. When I was in a coma, I pulled out my tracheotomy twice. I pulled out my feeding tube twice, and my catheter with my toes twice. Pretty impressive, I know. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't remember that at all, because I was in a coma. But the entire time I've been in college, I've had cancer. I have 10 rounds of chemotherapy left. I have done 2, and the first one was pretty bad. But then this one I got on Tuesday was good. I felt good, and then I think I just went too hard on Wednesday, and then Thursday I did not feel good. But today I feel fine, so that's good. Cognitive. I had a severe traumatic brain injury, as you guys know, and this affected my memory loss, word finding, anomia. There you go. Trouble concentrating, thought organization, problem solving, impulsivity, filter, difficulties reading the room or situation, reading nonverbal communication, tone, body language, reading between lines, picking up on hints. So I make sure everybody that I talk to knows that I need constant communication. Just tell me straight up what's going on. And then learn to advocate for myself when making new relationships. And I'm a Midwesterner, so I say yeah, no. What does that mean? Yeah, no. No, yeah. Okay. So, anywho, here's me right after I got home from Louisville. And that was my first time shooting a basketball, and I was like, why is this not working? Why is it not going in the hoop? And here is me after I woke up from my coma. These were supposed to be flipped, but they were not. So here's my older brother.
Ava, look. Smile. Yeah.
And I was out of it. But cognitive where I am today, I earned all A's last semester through a lot of hard work and a great effort. Thank you. I'm working on improving at school in speech and occupational therapy, as well as improving life and being able to stand up here and do this. I'm going to a psychologist weekly to better myself emotionally and mentally. I have played darts with my OT, horrible at darts, but she always wins. And we have worked on writing and typing for school, as well as playing piano for my grandma. Therapists. So I have a lot of therapists. Takes a village. And Patricia S.B. Pfeiffer is my psychologist and mental health doctor. And then underneath is Rachel Rose, and she is my OT that I see bi-weekly. And then On the right side, Jeff Fleming is who I see one of his students every week. And then Michael Boykin, he's at Miami now, but he was my first PT here, and I still call him all the time and FaceTime him, and he actually has a new son. So I always want to see his son Reese. And then Thomas Stephan is also my neuro PT. And then Laura Schmidt, she's here. Stand up. Okay. Stand up. Come on. She's my SLP, and she is why I'm here. We have worked very many hours getting where I am, and I will tell you. So when I first got to campus, I hated speech. I used to go to PT first, then OT in Kansas, then speech. And however, I didn't like speech, and my speech therapist wasn't trained for traumatic brain injury, so I was doing a bunch of stuff that I already knew, like I was smart enough to do, but I just didn't know. Then I would skip speech. I would go to PT, OT, skip speech. Well, then they figured out that I was doing that, and they put speech in the middle. And I did not want to skip PT or OT, so I'd have to go to speech. Those moms out there. I started with Laura at Iowa after she called me in August 2023. She got me right away when she learned I had traumatic brain injury. So my physical therapist, Michael Boykin, was like, you have to go back to speech. Like, you've got to go back to traumatic brain injury specialist speech. So then I was like, okay, he put in a referral. Laura calls me up. She's like, hey girl, hey. So we can't get you in for like a month, but, and I was like, well, I actually have a traumatic brain injury. I hit by a car, and I'm starting college next month. And she said, oh, okay, then we get you next week. So the level of, it was skyrocketed. So it's very helpful to have a staff or therapists that know about traumatic brain injuries. And my sports psychologist is a traumatic brain injury. Wow, nice. Did I do something? That's okay. Hey, that's all right. Is that going to cut my time? Oh, no. So, yes, it is very, very crucial to have a traumatic brain injury specialist group. And with everybody in here knowing about traumatic brain injuries, probably more than I do, from an outside looking in perspective, it's very beneficial for everybody to have that support system and that drive, that want to be there, they care about you, they care about your mental health and where you're at. They see you for more than just a patient. My goals changed, but my ambition did not. So I'm still here and still biking and working out as much as I can. My goals used to be playing college basketball and eventually the WNBA. I thought I would get back to playing basketball, and this was just a temporary setback. I had a mindset shift from getting back to basketball to getting my life back after my brain injury. Laura, my SLP, she said one of the first times we met, she was like, I did not care. I could not care less about basketball. Couldn't care less about basketball. I want you to be the best version of yourself that you can be. And I was like, okay. So that changed my idea of getting back to normal. Grieving the old Ava while grieving my dad was a long, hard process. But I feel I have worked hard to accept who I am now, and I go to therapy every week, and I try to work on myself so I can be the best version of myself for my significant other, my family, my friends, everybody. Everybody that motivates me. This is my motivation. Some of my motivation. I have had an inspiration, I have a very athletic family, and that is also hard to live in when you cannot be as athletic as you once were and compete, and you get really jealous and you don't like going to, Olympic trials to watch your brother, so you don't go. You watch the dog. Good thing I got a cute dog. Even though I'm not as athletic as I once was, my athletic mindset and goal did not change. So even though I'm wanting to get better as a person, even if no one is watching or acknowledging my process, because traumatic brain injuries are invisible, and it is something that I have. Everybody after ACL or shoulder surgery or knee surgery or something or eye surgery, everybody could see that I had physical injuries, and so everybody was supporting me all the time. But then once I healed enough, everybody was like, okay, like she's good. And then mentally, I still needed that support, and I have advocated for myself, learned to advocate for myself, and here I am. I still need therapy and I still need support. So that doesn't really stop after two, almost 3 years. So, what has helped? The support of my family has helped so much, and that's just not my family. I have a lot of other family members on my dad's side, a lot of them, too many to picture. Having therapy specific to traumatic brain injury and neuro, and then a medical staff that has been specially trained to help in traumatic brain injury survivors. Advocating for myself has also been key. And then for the school, I've had a learning assistant in the middle, and then the guy holding the fish is my academic. He's gonna be so mad. That's the only picture I have of him. It's a background picture when I see him, and he's like, how can I get this changed? Because when I call these parents and recruits, I can't have them see me licking a fish. And so that's one of my favorite pictures of John Bruno. He's John Bruno III, and my dad was the third. And so I have that tattooed, and he's like my second dad here at the university. And I always, always go to him for everything. And then my dog, like I said, Paxton. He is my best friend. And then at the bottom, I have my best friend since 7th grade, Alexis Allen, who has been my rock, and she drove with a group of my friends up to Louisville after I woke up from my coma to see me. And the bad thing is I didn't remember who she was at the time, but I'll never forget who she is, because she has been the best support system. Close. But Allison, my girlfriend in the middle, has been the best support system and has always just always put me first in everything. And she was also one of the first friends I had that actually cared about knowing more about traumatic brain injuries and why I was struggling. But funny, sorry, didn't mean to get sad there. Gotta keep it funny. My friend Brooklyn, my first friend that I ever got in college, how we met, we were both at a soccer game, random soccer game, and I was looking around, I was sitting in the front row, of course, gotta get the best action. She was right behind me with nobody around her. I was looking around, I was like, do you have any friends here? She said, she was been there for 12 hours, she was like, college started in a few days. She's like, no, not right now. I was like, okay, well, I'll be a friend. And then, so we started, and then later on, we started talking. Later on in that game, the announcer was like, next home game, bring your friends. I look at Brooklyn, and I'm like, hey, you got me, I got you. And that's where our relationship blossomed, and she is the best. She loves my grandma almost more than I do, but not really. So, yes. So in this slide, I don't really take pictures of me crying because that's embarrassing, but I am still struggling. But in these pictures, I have a smile on my face because that's the only way. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing with this smile on your face as much as you can. I've made so much progress, but not everything is sunshine and rainbows. I struggled with depression and suicidal thoughts. I stubbornly resisted medication for a long time because I didn't think that I actually needed it. But I do.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, good, yeah. Good, that's not just me, so that's good. I realized I wasn't supposed to be, / didn't want to be sad all of the time, and that it was okay to get some help from medications to make me feel better. I made so much progress, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. I'm a Division I athlete, but I can't I'm a Division I athlete, but I can't compete at that level. The decision to medically retiring was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. To watch my brother, sorry guys. To watch my brother at the Olympic trials was a mix of emotions. Happiness, sadness, jealousy, because that could have been me and that should have been me at some point in my life. I try to share my stories, the good, the bad, the ugly, as truthfully as I can on social media to let people know that this is not always rainbow and sunshine. Like this is real life, and real life sucks sometimes. But saying that everything is going to be good all the time would be a lie. So everything is not good all the time, but that's what we're pushing forward. That everything, is better every day, and I've created a good circle to support that the happiness, that life. Today. All right. So today is actually, like you said, my birthday, and there's no place I'd rather be. And my girlfriend wants Cheesecake Factory after this, so we're going for my birthday. Whoop whoop. As of today, what's the time? 5 minutes till I'm born. I'm almost born, 20 years ago. I'm a 20-year-old college student. I am a full-time student while studying journalism and mass comm with a minor in sport media. I'm 20. I'm almost 2 decades old, and I've used 2 out of my 9 lives. So I have 7 left. Hopefully I don't use them as fast, but I got 7 more that we're rocking with. I was born on the 7th, so it's my lucky number, I guess. Like I said last semester, I got straight A's. This semester I have A's, but I'm also asynchronous, so I go to class whenever I don't go. I'm online, but I just show up whenever I feel like it. I worked at a golf course over the summer, and I worked at the campus bookstore earlier this semester with my girlfriend, who is the lead there, who told me what to do, what's different. I have a close relationship with my mom and grandma. They're right here. Can you guys stand up? And then Allison, my girlfriend, stand up. So I work out a lot and prioritize my physical health as an athlete should. And I also eat very healthy. Allison cooks meals. She's a great chef, and I always clean up the food, the dishes, but I never cook. So, yes. And enough about me. I would like, well, actually, no, not enough. Oh my God, sorry. Goals for the future. Aha, right. Beat cancer. And have blonde hair again, hopefully curlier. And I also love corn still. And so I was giving you guys all side eyes, so I thought I would include that in here. Jump higher, but maybe not as high as this photo. But yeah, that's a pretty athletic photo right there. to graduate college in May of 2027, work towards a career as a sports broadcaster like Holly wrote, or a motivational speaker, continue to improve my running and exercising abilities, foster love for lifelong activities such as pickleball. Don't know if I love losing all the time, but yes, so those are my goals for the future, and those are two of my nurses, my cancer nurses that showed up on Tuesday with my shirts on, and I'm in really good hands at the University of Iowa. Okay, now enough about me. Thank you to everybody, Allison, everyone at Brain Injury Alliance of Iowa, and then the Louisville medical staff, the University of Iowa medical staff, physical, occupational, and speech pathologists such as Laura and Erin, and all of her students, and my family and friends. And so now I would like to talk about my mom and how her injuries, that she got the first place medal and having 22 broken bones the day of the accident, and she has been, we've come a very far way. She is my best friend, and she's always the first person I call, other than Allison, because Allison lives closer. Yeah, so she also has had 18 surgeries, and she suffered a traumatic brain injury and a stroke. And she is why I am so motivated and why I continue. Well, actually, it's because my grandma passed down to my mom passed down to me, just a long line of work hard women. So this is one of my first time speaking, hopefully not my last ever. But yes, like I said, thank you again to Thomas Steffen, Rachel Rose, Michael Boykin, Jeff Fleming, and Patricia S.B. Pfeiffer, and especially Laura Schmidt for all the hard work and support that they do. And yeah, I also do some hard work, I guess, sometimes. So thanks to me for working hard. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That was emotional to listen to, but just really awe-inspiring. So actually, our group works with a community-based clubhouse model, and we talk a lot about the importance of advocacy. And you kind of talked about how you became a really good advocate for yourself. Do you have any tips for people or ways that we can, promote advocacy for those who have brain injury?
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things was I didn't think anything was wrong with me, because after ACL, whatever, I thought I would be back to basketball right away. But the amount of support that I have, like with Laura, she told me that it's okay to need help, and then going and seeing a therapist is one of the best decisions I've ever made. And so I constantly go every week, and she reminds me that it's okay to need help. And so I just think that constant reminder of it's okay if you're not okay, to ask for help and to get on medications if you need to. So I think just having that constant uplifting support is what has got me to this point.